Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Zack, and this is the Monster Garden, where I do monster readings using some cards I made with monsters from my game Monster Garden. That was a lot of monsters. So today's reading, this is my first ever video on my channel, first of all, so thank you for coming. Hopefully first of many more, and the question is, what is a new hobby or skill for you to develop that would bring you some fun and joy and just be worth pursuing and putting some time and effort into and energy? Maybe there's something you're like, should I be doing that or not? Or maybe you're just looking for something, some new skill or hobby to develop. So we're going to look at those, looking at the physical, literal aspects of what this actually could involve doing, and also at the deeper level of maybe what you'll get out of it or why you're having trouble doing it. So there's 3 decks, as you can see. So you can just take a moment to pause the video and choose the deck that you feel drawn to. Don't worry about it too much and just maybe look at each one, see which one feels like it's calling your name or is for you. Deck 1 is this plastic crystal I got with a New Year's fortune one time at a temple. Deck 2 is this green beach glass I found on the beach in Yakushima, this island in South Japan that I really love, with thousands of year-old forests that inspired the movie Princess Mononoke. If you have seen that, Yakushima beach glass is deck 2. And then deck 3 is this ceramic fish, kind of like one of those bottom-feeding fish. I really love this. I got it from a potter one time. So take a minute, choose your deck right now. And I'm going to start now with deck 1. Okay, so the top card for this deck is kind of the overall energy of the deck. This is Drizzy energy. This is the astounding, awe-inspiring, sublime beauty of the universe beyond human understanding card, which is kind of a lot. In Monster Garden, this is a character that is just aware that it's in a game. It's kind of like, this is all just pixels and code. It's actually no big deal. So it's very much a card of like, all these small daily concerns are really nothing. There's this bigger, beautiful picture of the huge nothingness of the universe. It's kind of deep and abstract, but also that's like very sublime art energy. So I feel like maybe you have an artistic hobby, or it could be something philosophical that you want to pursue, writing, or some form of art, I think. So that's the key first card. Then there are 7 other cards. So let's see, let's do like 3 on top and 4 on the bottom. Oh, there's only 3. Whoops, I miscounted. Oh no, 7 overall. I meant to do that. Sorry, there's 3 and 3 to make 6. So let's take a look. First, the top 3. We've got Reverse Doofter and the Squares. Then we've got the Visionary Artist card. Wow, okay. This already has all of the powerful art-related cards in my deck. Doofter is the high standards, demanding the best. Not putting up with time wasters or untalented people. It's kind of can almost be a little bit mean of not wanting to waste your time and just want to be around people who are highly talented. That was in reverse. So that could mean maybe you put a lot of pressure on yourself to do the absolute best, and that could be an obstacle to you pursuing this. This is the Visionary Artist card. This is the card about almost selfishly insisting on making your mark on the world. Just like a message of go for it and express yourself. You have a right to express yourself even if no one else understands it or gets it. Just create that thing you know you need to create. So I feel like you have some hobby creating something beautiful that maybe other people don't understand it. Maybe you're not around people who would appreciate it, but it feels like you could be making some beautiful art. Just go for it. And maybe don't put too much pressure on yourself to be absolutely perfect. Just express yourself. The complementary colors, the squares, this is one of the most positive, beautiful, gentle cards. Very appreciative. I can't pick that up. There we go. Lots of little colorful squares can come to your monster garden. They just like compliment you and support you. They're the first thing that brings the garden to life. So it's also like the first step of just things springing up and beautiful things beginning and bringing color and change and life to something. They also, in the end of the game, they become musicians that bring energy and joyful music to your party. So maybe you're a musician, or you want to make music, or just something colorful, maybe a visual arts, paintings with colors. I feel like this is kind of a card of traditional arts like painting or something like that, physically making things, art objects to express yourself. So I feel like it could be music or some form of traditional art that's you could create something really beautiful and you deserve to just go for it and make it, even if no one understands it. And maybe don't worry about being totally perfect. I think you should just go for it and bring your vision to life. Let's look at these bottom cards for a little bit more perspective. Wow. Perception, baby, and Mel. So I was originally thinking like each row would be something. The top might be what the activity really is, and the bottom is kind of more abstract. So based on that, the top would be like something involving music or colors or arts that you maybe feel like you need to be better at or you're worried about that. And then these cards are saying perception is about viewing things very objectively, just seeing them the way they are. Maybe you have like a really good eye for whatever this is. It's something you always felt you had a good eye for. Whether that's visual arts and, composition and color. This character is in the story he's from. He's from a comic I drew in the past originally, that involved making food. He was like a genius cook. So like this is something you can see right to the core of how to do a good job. Whether if it's music, you just have a knack for, you can like listen to a song and pick up what that melody was. You can just see straight to the core of it. So I think this is something you have natural talent at, and you could be making beautiful art with your clear perception of it. It could be cooking, it could be artwork, it could be music. Baby and Mel, this is interesting. Baby and Mel reversed. Baby is the playful spinning hippo that's kind of very connected with other monsters, always looking for someone else to play with, and based on the almost kind of flirty connection with others and not really any long-term personal goals, just wanting to enjoy that connection in the moment. With this reversed, I feel like maybe it's kind of saying you don't need to worry about connecting with other people or entertaining them with this fun connection. I feel like it's not for other people. It's for you to express yourself, and you have these skills and vision, and you can make high-level art. Maybe don't worry about making it fun for other people or trying to connect it to other people. This baby's like spinning in circles, spinning around amongst all the fun friends. I feel like maybe this is something more either private or something that you know and other people don't know. With this, I feel like you're going to make some kind of maybe you're going to make some stunning new form of art that people won't understand at first, like a misunderstood visionary because the art is at such a high level. I feel like it's something like that. Not just like playing around, spinning around with friends, but like some for real art. And then Mel is Revolution card, Revolution monster. And this was in reverse. So I feel like in reverse, this card is kind of combative and feeling like you need to start a revolution, us against them, stop the bad guys. So I feel like maybe what's holding you back was like putting a lot of pressure on yourself that you have to be skilled and have to be the best, and like maybe comparing yourself to others and like seeing it as us against them, and which is it going to be, good or bad. And I feel like maybe you shouldn't worry about or be bothered by that. Don't worry about being good enough or pleasing others or seeing as it's you against someone. I think this is not anything that needs to involve other people. It's not you proving yourself to someone, not you entertaining someone. You don't need to be good enough to do it. You have this clear natural perception of this skill and hobby, whether it's cooking or music or visual art or something else, and you should just go for it with your vision It might be like beyond other people because it's so high level art or just so out there. And just don't be bothered with other people. Maybe you don't even need to share it with others at first. Just do it for yourself now. In your personal time, go for it. I feel like that's a very strong and clear message of this beautiful artistic thing you should be pursuing. Yeah, I feel like Mel's also a card of public speaking and presentations. You can see Mel's on a table talking to a crowd, and that's reversed. I feel like it's not something you need to try to present to the world right now or worry about presenting to the world now. Just make it. Later, you can figure out about presenting it or what people will think. Now, you need to just pursue this with your innate skills and vision and see where that leads you. And you've got this like beautiful, one of the most beautiful, supportive, appreciative, gentle cards. It's just like, just go for it and be you. So this was a beautiful reading. If you felt that it was true, please write in the comments section. I'm curious what your amazing skill is. That was such a nice reading. And thank you for watching that. And I'm going to go on to the next group. Thank you. Hi, group 2. It's time for your reading if you chose the green beach glass. So I started recording this and iMovie crashed. So I have seen the first 3 cards. The rest I haven't seen yet. So the first 3 I saw, the topic card for the reading is Tifa, the floating poet. This is a card about intuition and letting these things just flow out of you that you don't know where they're coming from. It's kind of getting in touch with yourself at a deep level, and then this poetry just comes out of you. So it's not rational. It's very intuitive. I feel like there's some skill that or something you have that's self-expressive and just letting this thing flow out of you. It could be anything, but this is a card about poetry and maybe words, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. Maybe for some people it is. But let's look at the other cards because they're very interesting. There was Knowing and Tukus. So these are also very deep, intuitive cards. This is about understanding yourself at such a deep level that you can't even explain it to other people. It's like this deep level beyond words or deeper than words or before words. Just like deep intuitive understanding, knowing yourself. It's also a card of having gone through a lot that's giving you awareness and knowledge about stuff, just the experiential level. This one again is also like about things deeper than rational thought. And then Tukas is about healing energy, and also about discovering something totally new that you wouldn't have imagined previously by giving yourself downtime to get to know yourself again. It feels very much related. In the game, Tukas kind of abandons his old life of frantically working for a boss to discover. Well, at first he doesn't know what he's going to do. He just gives that up and is floating around aimlessly, and then discovers his new passion for in his case, dancing. So I feel like with dancing and poetry, it's something like that just flows out of you, like improvisational dancing, not having thought things through, not choreographed, not planned out, or not rationally understood. Just coming from your deep understanding and your intuition. I feel like you just have some message you need to share with the world or something you need to let out of your body. This is like very beautiful and self-expressive. So these are the cards I've already seen. Let's get started with the ones I haven't seen. We have, oh wait, whoops, I flipped this one before too. It's the Deep Strength card of, again, things below the surface. Deep, deep strength other people can't see, but it's rooted in your deep experience that gives you strength. So these together is like, I don't know if you've been through a lot that's inspiring you. I mean, of course, like having been through difficult experiences can be a major inspiration for creativity and self-expression. I feel like maybe there's things that you've gone through other people don't know about, and it's given you this drive to express yourself. Let this stuff from deep inside you come to the surface. I feel like this character is also a gardener with the deep roots, but it's about things being below the surface. And then the other cards take the lead. I meant to take this card out of the deck because it only has a black and white illustration, but it's about being a leader stepping up and people willing to listen to you because they can see that you have it, like the it factor. So all of this feels like maybe you have just a glow of experience and something deeper than the physical level, and people can sense that. And if you really went for it, people would see and appreciate and know that you know what you're doing. I feel like this is a secret hobby that you should maybe go public with, and it's not necessarily something you have to keep to yourself. Maybe it's scary that it's deeper and deeper than words and so personal. But this is the card of going out publicly with your stuff. And then we have the ready and awaiting orders card. I kind of am not doing reversals in this reading. It just felt right to do all the cards as they normally are. But this card, it was technically reversed. This is the card of being ready, having everything you need, the skills, the experience, the know-how, and this card is just like, what are you waiting for? So I feel like let's just forget reversals because this one fits in the rest really well. It's like, what are you waiting for? Just go for it. You've got skills and experience. You have all this depth, like things you've been through and healed from, a message you need to share. Now just take the lead and go for it and go public with this skill that you have. Show it to other people. Do an exhibition or do a performance or just tell your friends about it. I feel like that's a strong message so far. Then sparkling seedling. This is like potential for growth. Again, like this is going in line again. It's like in the game, each seedling represents a level, and when you explore the level, you meet new monsters, open up your garden, and make it even bigger. It's like there's so much potential waiting. Just like go for it, take the lead. You are ready for this, and you're going to open up new horizons you didn't know about. Discover new things, discover new friends. There's like this is such a card of like beautiful, like potential waiting for you. Like there's this little thing. It looks like just a little decision or thing, but once you go for it, it opens up a new world. And going for this hobby, you'll meet new people, you'll go new places, like your horizons will expand. I feel like there's something that you know you love doing. You at some level you know you're good at it. Maybe it feels like it's too personal, you don't want to share it with other people, or it's scary that it's like deeper than words, and it's very vulnerable to put yourself out like that. You're based on your deep experiences and they don't understand, and maybe just like letting the words come out, you don't know where they're coming from. But this very strongly is saying you need to go for it, take the lead. People will see that in you. This is also like a leadership card. People will see that in you and respect it in you, and there's so much potential to grow and go on adventures and make friends. And then so I guess I miscounted the cards in this deck, and there's one more. I meant to do 7 cards, and this one has 8. The last deck had 6, so I accidentally miscounted on these two. Whoops. This is Jellypot energy. Jellypot is a character in the 3rd level of Monster Garden who is focused, this level is focused on like how to put yourself out there in the world. And Jellypot is about playing a role, and kind of on the surface you say and do the things you have to say and do, but on the inside you're not taking it so seriously, and you see this that it's just a role. So in this context, I feel like this very much fits because you have this deep, like beautiful, self-expressive thing that's very personal for you. And it's maybe scary to go out in the world and share that with people, but you just have to remember when you share with other people, it becomes just another thing in a sense that's not related to you. Maybe people are going to watch it and take photos and write a review of it. But all that, it's no longer your thing anymore. It's just their response, their reviews, their videos. So just keep in mind, like if you're scared that this is so precious you don't want to share it, just keep in mind it's always something that's preciously inside you, and like being public with it doesn't mean that it's going to be destroyed or hurt. It's just now you're in a role where you're sharing it with people, and they might suddenly be calling you, okay, you're a dancer, and maybe they think it's good or bad, or you're doing this or that. But that's just a role that you're now in. That's a way for you to share this with the world. And none of that has anything to do with this personal, precious thing that you have. I feel like that's the message here, that it's something too precious for you to share, but I feel like you should. It's going to take you to new places if you share with it. And you don't need to be worried about like, oh no, now this means that I'm this or that, and I'm going to be judged, but it's just the stuff that happens out in the world. That's just you playing a role, and people will perceive it this way or that way, and you can just nod and smile and move on, and you know that on the inside it's your precious thing that's just for you, even though you are sharing it with other people. I feel like this is the card of like, you don't have to take it personally and be worried about being hurt or too vulnerable. It's just, or maybe you feel uncomfortable to like call yourself an artist if this is an artistic thing, but that's just another role to play. It doesn't have to mean anything special. And you can just play along and be like, yep, I'm an artist and I'm doing this or that, and that can just help you get these opportunities to share it with people. I hope that makes sense, because that really felt like these top cards were where you're coming from with this, and then the bottom was about what happens if you can really pursue this and put yourself out there. So I don't know what this is. It could be poetry, music, or writing. It could be dancing. But I feel like it's something that just intuitively comes out of you. Maybe not skill based. Maybe not like something that you have to do technically perfect. It's something that comes from your experience and your personal feelings. It's more like a very expressive thing, and that's coming from all the things you've been through. Maybe just sharing your story somehow. If there's something you've been through and you want to share with other people in your spare time, connect with like-minded people who've been through the same thing and share your strength and sharing your story. And I feel like there's like potential for you to be a leader, and you have so much things going for you and so much potential for growth. Yeah, so thank you. This was such a beautiful reading to do. If you felt it was accurate or on some level true for you, please please comment in the comment section. And do keep in mind, it's a general reading, so a lot of people might watch this and just take whatever parts resonated with you. But I'm curious to hear what this is and what you're going to do with it. It sounds like something very beautiful you can share with the world. So thank you. I'm going to end this reading here and go to the last reading. Thank you. Hi, Group 3. So I accidentally just recorded the beginning of your reading without pressing record, so this video has had many technical mishaps. That's just the latest, hopefully the last one. So I already looked at a few cards. I'm going to start over again. This is for people who chose the ceramic fish. So the thematic card, first, just to set the tone, was Friar, the monster who likes to cut to the chase, not waste time, and is working towards this goal. But it turns out this monster really just wants to like observe the beauty in the world around it, and it's being very pragmatic at first just to get done the distractions. So it's very much about clearing out the distractions so you can focus on this thing that you like, which is something almost passive. For Friar, it's just observing things, looking at people, looking at the world. Maybe your hobby is just going to museums and observing art. So these are the three cards I already looked at. And then similarly, the Monk Distance card and the Blue Min card are kind of about observing things from a distance. This is the card about letting things be for now, like knowing when to take a step back and not over-engage and not push it. I feel like maybe this is something on hold that you have to put on the back burner for right now, or that you're currently learning about, maybe in school for, because the Blue Min are about observing and collecting data, absorbing information like a sponge to be used later for unknown purposes. I feel like maybe there's something you feel like calling you, but you're not sure where it's going to lead. So right now you're just observing things. You're not pushing yourself too hard. Just noticing there's something there, letting it be, and kind of collecting information, observing, getting done the steps that you need to do right now. Maybe dealing with other parts of your life, but just keeping this one part of things going. And then Rufy is the card of embracing your own weird self and not trying to please a boss or anyone else, and kind of shifting to a different mindset where you just accept and approve of yourself the way you are, and finding people who accept and approve of you and support you no matter how weird you are. And kind of the message of you can always find people who dislike what you're doing and other people who like what you're doing. So you might as well be listening to the ones who like you and approve of you and support you. Because no matter how you are, how good or bad you ever are, you can always find both. So I feel like this is something on the back burner. You're just kind of, you see that it's there. Maybe you're learning about it, taking your time, kind of changing your perspective, meeting new people who are into this type of thing to kind of open you up to it. and is doing what you can do now, even if it means this thing is on the back burner. In terms of what the activity is, I'm not sure so far. I feel like it could just be something passive, like maybe observing, like art appreciation, going to museums to look at beautiful things, which is what Friar does. Could be something spiritual. This is the monk card of having a meditative practice, and there's a lot of observing. Maybe it's, observing people, being a writer, kind of just introverted, watching the world, maybe spiritually or philosophically, lots of learning and watching. This is interesting for a hobby. I'm curious what it could be. Let's see the other cards. We've got Bula, the love card, support and encouragement reversed. We've got reversed Feb, analyze and assessing energy. And reversed Bully, wow. The broken bully character. And precision, thorough and complete. Interesting. Let's start with the love. This is the message of like, you're doing great. Just keep being you. You're supported and encouraged. But I feel like in reverse, this can mean that you feel like you have to support and encourage other people. Like maybe you're burdened with having to look after people and care for others. In the context of this reading, it feels like something's distracting you, keeping you from this hobby right now, and it's kind of on the back burner. Maybe you're overwhelmed with things and feeling like there's people you have to take care of, things you have to take care of. And then these two, Feb is analyzing and observing and analyzing the situation and assessing it and forming advice. Reversed, it can mean being like stuck in your head with getting over rationalizing things. Maybe you're stuck with thinking like, when am I gonna have time for this? What's the point of it? What do I do? Getting stuck in your head with it. So I feel like this is a message of don't worry about overthinking it or overanalyzing it. I feel like it's something you're going to have time for later. Right now, it's okay to just let it be on a back burner. Slowly get to know it, step into it when you have time, meet people who are doing it, whatever this hobby is. This is also very much a card of like writing. In the game, she writes a book. So for some reason, with this observing, watching, I feel like it's something where you watch people and observe things and write about it or internalize it and make sense of it, which is great and fun, but don't feel like you have to like figure everything out right now, or maybe you're stuck in, it's possible to get too stuck in the headspace of what's the point, what am I doing? You don't have to overthink it or overplan it right now. Maybe don't worry about having a plan for where you're going to enact this. It's okay to let it be on the back burner for right now. And then interestingly, with Q and Rufy, Q is this character that at first is kind of a bully that's just lashing out, attacking everyone. But if you follow their path, it turns out she just was, like it's the common psychological analysis of bullies that actually they were the ones who were hurting and having a tough time, and they're just taking it out on other people. So if you follow her story, she realizes that, and then she wants to join you, the player, if you play the game, and join your garden, the monster garden, and like find a community of like-minded people to change her way of being, find a new way of being that's more healthy and healing and not hurtful. So with these two cards, I feel like you just need to take time to meet like-minded people, look up people doing this hobby that you're interested in doing, and reach out to them and see what they're doing. And just, even if you can't practice it right now, you could talk to people who are doing it and find out what's going on, even if it's just on the back burner for you right now. I feel like that's a strong message with these. But they're both very nice messages of getting to a healthier place where you embrace and support yourself instead of being so hard on yourself. At first, they both go really hard on themselves. Rufy's so scared of pleasing this boss. Rufy's like anxiously withdrawn in its body about, oh God, I have to be good enough, and it's very frantically overwhelmed. And this one is like taking it out on other people. So I feel like you might be like overwhelmed and have a lot going on and people you have to take care of, and you're caught up in thinking about it and over analyzing it maybe, but just take your time and slowly put your foot in the water, find like-minded people, and then let it be for now. Just observe and absorb. Get to know people. If you're in school, I think it's a great reading for if you're in school, because this is just like getting to know it now. You don't need to be an expert right now. You're busy with your other classes. Just slowly let it unfold. And then finally, the Precision Thorough and Complete card, which is a card about knowing just when and where to act. So I feel like when the time comes, you'll have time for this and you'll know when and where to get involved. Right now, just be observing, seeing what the community's like, seeing what the situation is like, and then a time will come when you'll see what to do, how to get involved, and you can finally act on it. Also, in terms of what this activity is, this is, I feel like, a very manual dexterity card. I imagine this card as like, this character is like removing obstacles, picking locks, removing barriers, kind of like undoing obstacles in your path with manual movements, whether it's like finding just the way to like defeat a big boss that's blocking your path, or undoing a lock, or removing opening up a gate or something. It's like about manual dexterity, quick, agile actions. It could be that you're making something with your hands, knitting or creation, or even actually could be writing too, in terms of handwriting. Because a lot of these other ones were more focused on observing things, watching things, processing things, turning them into your own story, making them your own. It feels very internal and introverted. So this is the only one that felt kind of like making things. And of course, lots of people might read this. It could be different things, but I feel like it's something where you're taking in your observations and processing them and making them your own. And then maybe you do make something in the end. Or maybe this is just a card of, you'll see the time when it comes and you'll see a way to get involved. Maybe right now you're over analyzing, like, how do I get involved in this? I'm not a such and such. I'm not an X. Like, I don't have time for this now. It's never going to happen. But right now it's okay just to observe. Don't overthink it. Just find like-minded people, let it be, and then eventually you'll see when it's time and place to really go for this hobby and skill. Maybe, since the world is very crazy right now, later you'll have more downtime to pursue this, and I think you'll know when the time comes. So don't worry about now thinking, oh God, when will I do this? When will I go back to school for this? That's never going to happen. Maybe just don't worry about that too much right now. Because these are also a card of being temporarily in one place, with the implication that one day you'll be somewhere else doing something else that right now you can't even imagine. With the things you're absorbing now and the experiences you're getting now, it's going to lead you to somewhere else in the future. So don't worry about trying to get where it's going to lead you right now. I feel like this is just a new hobby or vague impression you have where you feel like, I kind of liked it when I went to that show the other day, or I saw the person doing this activity and I felt like I could do it. I don't know why. That's crazy, because I've never done that. I feel like it's something just vague that you encountered that you kind of want to pursue more. And I feel like you can and should, but maybe now it's just not the time where you have the free time and energy to be suddenly fully devoted to it. Or maybe now it's just the time to study, get to know it. You don't need to master anything right now. Just do what you can right now, and then eventually you'll have time to really go for it. And I feel like maybe eventually you'll get extremely skilled at it with this card in the mix. So just take your time, no pressure, and it's definitely a message of go for this thing that you're feeling that potential with. Don't ignore it. There must be a reason why you felt so drawn to it. Maybe you just felt drawn to this like painting you saw in a house or a restaurant, and you don't know why, but maybe just look up who painted it and see what their story was and get to know things. Discover this new skill. And I feel like it could involve writing, observing, analyzing, processing things. So yeah, thank you for being with me for that reading. I hope that made sense for you. Please write a comment in the comment section below what you thought about it. And thank you for joining me for all of these readings. Thank you. Bye. So that's all the readings. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment and like the video and subscribe to this channel, because I do plan to post more videos, hopefully with increasingly better video and audio quality, and better readings as I go. This is my first one that I'm posting publicly, so I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for tuning in. This is Zach from the Monster Garden tuning out. Bye.